When you send email campaigns, you want to have the highest open rates, and at the end of the day, you want to make as many sales as you can. But to get high open rates, you need to make sure your emails land in inbox and not in the spam folder. Email Warmup helps you land more often in inbox. So in this video, I'm going to explain you what is Email Warmup, why it matters a lot, especially today, and how to do it perfectly and choose the right tools to maximize your email results. Let's dive in. But just before diving into Email Warmup, let me clarify first what is email deliverability and email sender reputation. Email deliverability is your ability to land in inbox. So the more often you land in inbox, the higher your deliverability. The more often you land in spam, the lower your deliverability. All right. Deliverability is based on 3 factors. So there's your email content, so the links, the images, the tracking, the words you use, etc., etc. There's your sending setup, so your email authentication, such as SPF, DKIM, DMARC, the provider you use, etc. And there's the sender reputation, which is directly linked to Email Warmup. So the sender reputation is how the big mailbox provider, such as Google with Gmail and Google Workspace, and Microsoft with Outlook and Office 365, etc., how they see you as a sender. Do they see you as a good, interesting sender, or do they see you as a bad, uninteresting sender, or worse, a spammer? I like to explain sender reputation by comparing email to how social media works today. So today, on LinkedIn, for instance, when you publish content, if you get very few likes, comments, or shares, LinkedIn will consider that you don't publish really interesting content, and as a result, your reach, your visibility will decrease. But if you get a lot of likes, comments, and shares, that sends the signal to LinkedIn that you post interesting stuff, and as a result, your reach and visibility will increase. That's how email works today. The more positive interactions you have on your emails, the higher will be your sender reputation. So the more openings, replies, positive replies, the more your emails are marked as important, the more your emails are removed from spam, the higher will be your sender reputation. And that's what Email Warmup is for. Now that we know what deliverability and sender reputation are, let's talk about Email Warmup. So Email Warmup, or email warming, is the process of building a positive sender reputation by generating engagement with your email activity. So in practical terms today, to do email warmup, you basically just have to connect your mailbox to an email warmup tool like MailReach and let this tool do the job for you. What happens next is that MailReach, for instance, will automatically start email conversations between your mailbox and many other mailboxes of our networks and generate a lot of positive interactions. That means warming emails will be sent from your mailbox, and most of these warming emails will be opened, replied positively, marked as important, and removed from spam when needed. All this engagement teaches the mailbox providers such as Gmail and Outlook to put your emails in the inbox of their users, so your recipients, and not in their spam folders. That's how Email Warmup works today. And if it's done properly, that can be a game changer for your campaigns, really. Now that we know what email warming is, the next question is, when do you need email warming? So email warming is important to build a positive sender reputation, maintain it over time, and restore it if it's damaged. It's crucial to run email warming as long as you send campaigns, and especially B2B cold outreach campaigns. It should be done before the campaigns, during the campaigns, and between them. For a new domain, we recommend 14 days of warm-up before sending the campaigns to build a positive sender reputation. And once you start your campaigns, you need to keep email warming to generate enough engagement to maintain your sender reputation over time. If you only do email warm-up before your campaigns but not during the campaigns, your engagement rate will drop, so your sender reputation will drop, and you will end up in spam. Keep in mind that today, by default, without email warming, your sender reputation is always decreasing because it's nearly impossible to generate enough engagement to maintain it over time. That's why today, doing cold email outreach without email warming just doesn't work anymore. And it's guaranteed to end up in spam in a matter of days, or if you're lucky, in a matter of weeks. Keep in mind that ending up in spam just makes you miss customers, miss revenue, and just miss growth. And you don't want that. So email warming is super important today. So now, how to choose the right solution for email warming? A proper and efficient email warming solution should match 5 criteria. Actually, there's many more, but I'll stick to the main 5. The first criteria is that your email warming solution should emulate a meaningful cold outreach activity that gets positive, interested replies. And that's what we do at MailReach, actually. The warming emails that are automatically sent from your mailbox when you use MailReach are emails asking for meetings such as, "Hi, how are you doing? I'd like to talk to you about X and Y. When are you available for a call?" And the replies are something like, "Hey, thank you for reaching out. I can be interested. I'm available next Friday at 4 p.m. for a quick chat." So in that particular reply, you get a "Thank you. I can be interested. I'm available for a call." All of this sends the signal to Microsoft and Google that you're an interesting sender that deserves to land in inbox. So that's super important to reproduce that kind of meaningful activity. The second criteria is to choose a solution that has a network of mailboxes with an average high reputation. That's super important. As I said, when you do email warmup, your mailbox will exchange emails with other mailboxes, but you want your mailbox to discuss with high reputation senders, not poor reputation ones. And the problem with many warmup tools is sometimes their price is so low that they attract low reputation senders with bad practices, and that makes you talk with low reputation domains, etc., etc. So that's not ideal if you want to have the best results. The third criteria is to choose a tool that is constantly updated and improved to keep up with the latest spam filters updates. Because the sending rules and spam filters change every year, and we can see that with Google, with Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, etc. They constantly change. So you need a solution that is constantly updated and improved based on that, right? The fourth criteria that is, for me, really important is that you'd like a solution that is smart enough to understand when your sender reputation is going south and is doing bad, and that will adapt based on that, and for instance will update the warming volume to increase it and maximize your ability and the speed of recovery, for instance. So the last thing that is super important as well is it's better to choose a tool that also offers a proper spam testing feature, because that's not email warmup, all right? But you can have a perfect sender reputation thanks to email warmup, but still land in spam because of your content, okay? As I said earlier, deliverability relies on your content, your sending setup, and your sender reputation. So email warmup is for your sender reputation, which is the hardest part of the game, but there's the two others, all right? So a spam testing feature helps you test your final deliverability and make sure you don't have any spammy elements, even if you don't suspect it, in your content or in your sending setup, right? So choosing a solution that includes a proper, reliable, and accurate spam tester is important as well, right? So I'm happy to tell you that MailReach matches all these criteria and many more actually, but I won't go too much into details as it would take hours, maybe in another video. Now I want to show you how email warming works with MailReach so you can have a good idea and offer you a quick demo. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now I'm on my computer and I'm going to show you how email warming works with MailReach. So the first step when you're on MailReach is to connect your mailbox. So you simply have to select your mailbox provider and follow the steps. It takes between 10 seconds and 2 minutes to connect your mailbox depending on your provider. And you can connect any provider that supports SMTP. Okay. Once your mailboxes are connected, you can see all your mailboxes with your reputation score per mailbox. You can also see tags if you use tags to organize your mailboxes. And for each mailbox, you have a dashboard displaying your warming activity, like how many warming emails have been sent, received, removed from spam. You get your main graph here where your warming emails land. So if your warming emails land mostly in inbox, it means your reputation is good. If they are mostly landing in spam, it means your reputation is damaged, and your reputation score reflects that graph. Okay. You can filter the data based on the provider, so you can see how your reputation is doing on Gmail versus on Outlook or Office 365, which is super useful because sometimes you're doing well on Outlook but bad on Gmail, for instance. You have a checks page where MailReach checks your SPF, DKIM, if your domain is blacklisted, etc., etc. So we check everything that's important for your deliverability. And you have the settings. So in the settings, you can change, for instance, the warming volume. So by default, you're on autopilot mode and you have nothing to do. MailReach will gradually ramp up the volume for you. But if you're an expert, you can disable that mode and change the starting volume, increase per day, max sends per day. And you can go up to 100 warming emails per day, which is super useful when you need to restore a damaged reputation, for instance. And you have a couple of other settings. I won't go too much into detail. Now I'd like to show you how a warming email conversation looks like on MailReach. That's really important. So this is a typical conversations generated by MailReach to warm your activity. So, hi William, I hope everything is well. I'd like to schedule a meeting. What would be the best time for a 30-minute call with a nice human touch at the end? And I get a positive reply saying, I'm well, what about you? This would be really great. You can call me next Thursday at 9 a.m. And what's super cool here is that you have the smart replies suggested by Gmail. It builds trust with Gmail, who understand your emails. So that's super important. So that's it for the email warmer part. Last thing I like to show you a bit, we have an overview page, which is super useful to see if you have multiple domains getting warmed, or if you're using multiple providers or tags. You can see your average reputation score per domain with the evolution over the last 48 hours. And the spam checker, which is super important to test your final deliverability with your own campaigns, the way you send them. So you send your emails to a list of mailboxes we give you, and you get a report with your spam score and where your email landed on all these mailboxes, with a list of checks for your content, for your setup, etc. So for your content, we'll check your links, your tracking, your attachments, etc., etc. And we'll check also your sending setup. Okay, so that's it, guys, for the MailReach demo. I hope you learned something interesting in this video, and I wish you the best for your deliverability. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.